is Barco Engelbrecht. At this stage, my own business owner. Recently started own business online. Also married to an amazing wife, and also involved in a bunch of stuff, from digital marketing to video work to rugby coaching, and a bunch of other extra stuff, and always busy learning. So yeah, that's pretty much in short who I am.
All right. So can I just briefly start with your background? Because I know everyone has different backgrounds. And sometimes we always think that they have it easy, or maybe we be hard on ourselves, but we don't realize other people have different backgrounds and they maybe have an advantage or not.
No, perfect. So in short, I grew up in a small town called Nigel. So yeah, from there went to Heidelberg to school, and I had the privilege to go and study. For my parents, it was financially it's quite tough. Like for many parents. I mean, in just in the economical place where our country is and was, and so that was a challenging thing. But supernaturally, God provided for me. And then so I went to go and study teaching, was also very involved in rugby. I think every young Afrikaans guy's dream is, playing for the Springboks one day. So I had a privilege of playing for the varsity teams and a bit of provincial as well. And then finished my studies, studied teaching, and went to go. Taught for a year, and then I thought, this is not me. I believe it was a season that was necessary, but it wasn't a season or a job that I saw myself doing for the rest of my life. After that, I worked as a financial advisor a bit, and for about a year and a bit, and I just felt I had a call for ministry, working full time at church. And I became a youth pastor for 4 years, and then after that, I was a student pastor for 3 years. And we just felt that God has taken us in a different direction, and we just decided to start our own businesses. So that's pretty much where I come from and where I'm now.
All right. So with your business, like, it is something new that you're doing. Were you ever scared of starting it? Because it is a bit scary starting your own business, to see if it's going to work, not work, whether you're going to have the financial income, going to find clients. So, so how have you were you scared, and how have you overcome that? And what strategies are you doing to figure out your business?
Yeah, I think anybody that starts their own business, I think across the board, there's no definite or sure things. I think it's always a challenge, and I think the biggest thing why many people don't start business is because of the fear. Is it going to work? Isn't it going to work? And a couple of years ago, I just heard someone say, the place that has the most dreams and visions and plans is the graveyard. Many people in their lives, they have these great ideas or whatever, but they're too afraid to start. And I'm a kind of guy that does a lot of research, and make sure that I connect with the right people, business people that has gone through the process. And I think the biggest thing is first just overcoming that fear and just starting. And the thing is, just on that, I think also one of the biggest things that stop people from starting their own business is resources. People think, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that, and that was my excuse for a long time as well. And I just realized something, that if that's always going to be my excuse, I'm never going to start. So I had to get to a place of, what do I have now in terms of resources, in terms of time? What do I have now? And I have to use that, even if it's not ideal. I have to use that, start with that, and then from there just start.
All right, and you said fear. So, what has been your biggest fear, and how have you overcome that fear? Like, what strategies or mindset did you had to get to overcome it?
At the end of the day, that subconscious fear, or it's still there. Am I going to make it? Am I making the right decisions? Was this the right decision? Leaving my comfort zone. And moving into I would say uncharted territory in my life. That was a thing, and it's still a thing. But one thing I just learned, just to put one foot in next of the next foot, just taking that step after step. Okay, what is it? Where am I now? Okay, what is the next step? Okay, must I go and connect with someone that can help me, with my business? Do I need to, start thinking of something else? Are there some projects that, I've been leaving, for a bit? Must I maybe start engaging on that, So just continuously analyzing what is the next step? What is the next step for me? And as you mentioned, every single person's background and things is different. But what is the next step for me as a person in my business, my relationship with my wife, all those kind of things? What are the next steps? And then I think the biggest thing is just implementing it. You can be super philosophical and, have all these ideas and plans, but, if you don't start doing it, it's always just going to be that, just ideas and plans.
That is true. Can you describe your routine that you have every day that you feel like allows you to achieve success?
I think structure is a massive thing, especially for a person like me. I can be a bit, loose-headed, if that's the right term, or I can just get into a space where I just go through the motions. So I have to have structure in my life. I think something that's very important to me, because I have a sports background, is just exercising. I think getting in the gym. At this stage, started to CrossFit a bit, and I suggest anybody. It doesn't matter what your sports capabilities or talents are. Doesn't matter. Just to be active. If you want to go and walk, whatever. So I just prefer the CrossFit or gymming. So in the morning, wake up at 5:15. We'll go to CrossFit. After that, get home, and first thing that I usually do after that is just sit down, just get quiet. As I mentioned, I was a full-time minister. We just really have a passion for Jesus, and just spending time with Him in the Word. And every single person has their own thing. Some people meditate, some people do this. That is just my time where I just sit, I just reflect, and I just really ask God for guidance at the end of the day. After that, sorry, this one. Just following up. After that, just then start working. Make sure what are the most important stuff that has to be done today. There's some stuff that it's not ideal, but that can be left for later in the week. But there's certain stuff that I have to finish, that I have to do, because there's timelines attached to it, and then making sure to do that. And then just working through what am I supposed to finish for the day, just to try and keep on point, because my biggest issue, I'm busy with one thing, and then all of a sudden, I forgot to do this, and I get distracted, and then I'm not super effective, So just to say, okay, what is important, focus on that one thing in that specific time, getting it done, and then moving to the next thing. And also just extracurricular activities, put in those terms, to just be part, or just partake in hobbies and stuff that really excites you. For instance, I also, like I said, have a passion for rugby, so I started getting involved in coaching, and that just motivates me. It just keeps me going, and that is just the way I recharge at the end of the day. So that's super important.
Because you said you have a sports background, and I think I've heard a lot of people say that sports is good for you and it creates a certain mindset. So for you being in that, having that background, what can you say? Like, can you just explain the mindset that sports gives you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I always see myself as a very motivated person if I put my head on something. And at a stage, like I said, I was pursuing a rugby career, and I really put everything into it. And one thing that it taught me, stuff doesn't always work out as you want it to work out. I was unfortunately, I was a space where I was very injury prone, a lot of injuries, and that just taught me just to come back every time, just to get up, just to work harder. Every time there's a setback, you can't just shrivel up and die in that space. It's okay, I need to get up the next day. What can I do? If I'm injured, okay, now I have to go through a rehab, rehabilitation process. What does it consist of? Do I need to go to a physio? Do I need to go to chiro? Do I need to get back in the gym? Do I need to, get on a bicycle? Whatever that was. So it really taught me just to never, ever give up, and just to come back harder. And, I could see that repeating in my life, and especially now with the business. Like I said, it's not always the best, and not always going the way I want to, but just to keep on chipping away at it.
Do you think if you didn't have that sports background, you would have seen things differently, or would it taken you longer to get to that mindset?
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely, definitely. Like I said, because of my whole family is just so sport orientated. So I can't see it going any differently than that. If I wouldn't have learned discipline as well. I think sport really taught me immense discipline. Like you said, get up in the morning at a certain time, get stuff done, and so discipline I think came with that as well. And I can't see, if I did something else that I would have learned that discipline as well.
Okay. You did mention that you were in the ministry for a while, and I'm sure you worked with the youth, right?
Yes, yes.
What do you think was the most common problem or views that they saw about life?
I think the biggest thing is identity. That they did not know who they really are. Always comparing themselves with other people, and obviously, especially now with social media. Every single thing you see people post are only highlights. That's only the best part of the day, all these travels, all this glamorous life, and they try and compare themselves, to these people, the popular kids at school or whatever, and they focus too much on who they're not instead of focusing on who they are and who they're supposed to be. And I think that is a big issue, and that I think that is why cyberbullying has that massive effect, especially in these times. It's because they compare themselves to certain people that they're not, or they're not supposed to be, and they measure themselves and they feel and they see themselves as failures, and they don't believe in themselves. So very identity and very low self-esteem.
No, I think that is definitely true. I think we don't realize that people only put the highlights of their life, the good parts on social media, but they never show the bad side. No one's really going to show what's happening behind the doors. And I think it takes a long time to realize that. And with belief, you did mention belief. So how do you define belief? Because I think it's very abstract word if you think about it.
No, absolutely. For me, many people view belief as this, like you said, this abstract concept, and this positive way of thinking, or this airy fairy thing. For me, and how I personally see it, I see belief as because there is evidence in my life of the presence of God, I could believe. I've experienced, I've had crazy or amazing experience with God previously, and because of that evidence and that experiences that I have had with Him before, I could believe. If that makes sense, So for me, like I said, for many people it's an abstract thing, but for me it's an absolute, because I had the encounter, I had the experience with God, and for many people it's different. Even in a Christian faith, there's so many variables and different ways of encountering God and God speaking to people, and so there's no set way. I think because people want a certain formula when it comes to your belief, or this your religion or whatever. So for me, it's just that absolute. I just know that I know that I know. So it's more than just an abstract concept for me personally. I hope that answers the question.
Yes. All right. I think we are out of time.
No problem.
But one more thing before we leave. What do you think is one piece of advice that you would give your younger self, or to someone that you think would change their mindset?
I believe the biggest thing, just believe in yourself and who you created to be. I know it's a very, every single slogan you see in every just believe in yourself, but just to back yourself. I guess this thing falls out. And it's so bad. But just to back yourself at the end of the day, you have everything you need. Everything you need is inside of you. You don't have to look to external sources and stuff like that. And then I would say the second biggest thing is just get someone to speak into your life. Get a mentor. Get someone, just to give guidance. Because when you're younger, you think you know everything, but actually you don't. So just to really find someone to speak into your life. And that's why I have such a big passion for younger people and for the youth specifically, because I know when I was growing up, I always longed for someone to speak into my life and someone just to journey with. And besides my parents, I'm fortunate I have amazing parents, but sometimes you just need someone outside of your family setup, and that's why I want to be that person for younger people.
All right. Thank you so much. It
Thank you,
was a lovely
Melanie.
interview.